Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effy and today we are testing Rude Cosmetics. I have done another testing Rude Cosmetics and I'll be honest, at the point of filming this, it's my most viewed video on my channel, so that's a big hint for me to do another one. I didn't have a full face in that video and I also don't have a full face in this video. I picked up some more products. I've got a new eyeshadow palette, I've got a highlight, I've got lip products. I've got eyeliner, I've got a liquid eyeshadow. So we're going to test all those. I've also put in all the products that I tested in my last video so we can have a look at them again and to keep it a bit more in the theme of Rude Cosmetics. So if you're interested in seeing my thoughts and feelings on these Rude Cosmetics products, then please do just keep on watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up 2 videos a week and it is all makeup content here, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then this is the place for you. I have a bunch of testing videos coming your way from loads of different brands, so hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss any of them. You'll get notified every time I upload. Subscribing is free and it puts a giant smile on my face, so hopefully you've hit the subscribe button by now. Thanks if you did. But anyway, let's get on with the video. Okay, so I've just put in a headband. I think we're going to start with eyes today, so let's zoom you in. So for eyes, we have a couple of products. First of all, the eyeshadow palette we're going to be using is the Roaring 20s Reckless palette. I wanted this palette for the longest time, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because I was in Superdrug and I saw it and I was like, yeah, I was in a pretty bad mood, so I was like, makeup will cheer me up. So I bought this, and then I thought I might as well just buy some more stuff and do a video. So this is the palette. You would think from the outside it would be more of a green palette, and also the fact that I bought it, you would think it would be a green palette, but it's not. It's a colourful palette. They have 3 in this like Roaring 20s collection. There's this one, there's a more like reddy pink everyday sort of palette, and then there's the neons one. I kind of want the neons one too, but this is the one we have today. I'm thinking sticking to the purples and the greens. I'll be honest, I have 2 other products. So one product I have is an eyeliner and it's in green, and then I have a liquid glitter eyeshadow in purple, so that's why I'm thinking greens and purples. Maybe if I sort of do like green matte shades and then like a purple on the lid, because then I can test like the purple shimmers and put the liquid glitter on top. That sounds like a good idea, and then I can put this in my waterline. So let's do that. Okay, so I've just primed my eye using the Beauty Bay Eye Base in shade 2. I should probably do a couple of swatches. Let's do a few swatches on my hand. Let's go for 2 mattes, 2 shimmers. So 2 mattes. I'll go for ones I'm not going to use today. So Buzz. Wow. And I will go for Lindy Hop, which is next to it as well. That's a nice shade. And then for shimmers, we'll go for Flappers, because that seems to be like a pinky gold shade. That's beautiful. And then we'll go for On the Ritz, because that one also seems to have a bit of a shift to it. So does Moonshine. They are stunning. Let's put them on my hand. Okay, the mattes are a bit powdery, but that's fine. They tend to be whenever I swatch them. Look at those 2 shimmers. There we go, that is that shade. It took a little bit of building up, but that's fine. It's actually a very unique brown shade. I feel like it's even got a hint of purple in there, which is quite nice. I quite like it. Very pretty. Next, I'm going in with the green shade called Hot Dog. There we go, that shade went on quite nicely. It built up easily. We all know I love green shades, and it's a very pretty green shade. I like it a lot. Now, the one thing I'm noticing is that I'm going to go in with the shade Mojo, but there's not really anything to blend that one out with other than maybe this shade up here, Feathers. So that might be an issue, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm going to go in with the shade Mojo. I actually love that shade because I love greens, and it's a green and I like it, but I'm a little bit confused by the choice of shades, just because those 2 greens are like very, very different shades of green. Like the first green I use is almost like a bluey green, and then the second green is more like a yellowy green, which means they don't fit together perfectly. I mean, I can blend them together and it'll be fine, but if I was doing the palette, which obviously I'm not, and they know more about creating eyeshadow palettes than I do, I would just use 2 greens from the same sort of like base family, if that makes sense. I'm just talking crap now, but I would use either 2 blue tone greens or 2 yellow tone greens. But it'll blend together and it'll be fine. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is just blend these 3 shades together a bit more. That'll do for now, because I'll blend it out a bit further when I have my base on. I am liking the shades. Kinda wish the palette had a black. I really want to put black on the outer corner. I'm thinking I might go in with a little bit of this shade here, Chippy, just because that looks quite dark. It looks a little bit darker than Charleston, so I'm just going to take a small amount of that and just put it on my outer corner. I don't know if it was actually a bit darker or if it was just a different tone, but I'm happy with how my eye looks at the moment. Yeah, it looks fine. I will blend it a little bit more out here where my base is on. What I'm going to do now is take a small fluffy brush and the shade Feathers and just blend the inner corner a little bit more so that I can cut my crease. There we go, that's all it really needed. I'm going to cut my crease using my Collection Lasting Perfection Stretch Concealer and Eyeshadow Primer. It looks like this. So, as much as I have my liquid glitter shadow, I am going to go in with a couple of these first. I think I'm going to go in with glitzy through my inner corner, and then at a girl, couldn't read that for a moment, just along the outer edge where they are meeting, because I think that might be the darkest shimmer in here, just to help that blend. And then I'll also go in with a little bit of Chippy and probably a little bit of Charleston. Reading's not my strong point today, and blend it. You'll see what I'm doing, hopefully. Okay, I'm really liking this look, but I really, really wish there was a black. And actually that first shade, Glitzy, love it. I don't have a shade like that in my collection. I thought it was going to be a bit more purpley. On my eye it looks a bit more blue. But it is stunning. I don't have a shade like that in my collection. I also really liked the At a Girl shade as well. Can I add a black from another palette? I think it needs it. Just a touch. The palette I have next to me is the NYX Cosmetics Rose Metal palette. And I know that the black in here is really good. I'm just going to add the smallest amount. There we go. I just think that looks so much better. I did put on a little bit more At a Girl just to blend it with the shimmers, and I put a little bit more Charleston on around the edge just so that I didn't lose the brown entirely. This is quite nice. But now I'm going in with the liquid glitter, which I'm very excited for. Here it is. It is the Star Party liquid eyeshadow in the shade Solstice. They have quite a few shades of this, and if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I love liquid glitters. So what I'm going to do is grab a brush, because this is just how I like to apply them. I'm just grabbing any random flat brush. My finger is stained yellow from swatching that shade. Great. And all I do is take the applicator out. You can just apply this straight to your eye if you want a more opaque look, but I like to take it on a brush. I do this with all my liquid glitter eyeshadows. I have quite a few. I have a lot of the e.l.f. ones. I have one from NYX Cosmetics. I have one of the Beauty Bay ones. I love these sorts of things, and while it's on your brush, I just pat it over my lid. I'm going to pat it over that first shade, that lighter blue purple shade. Wow, that has some opacity to it. Normally when I do it with a brush, it sort of like separates it out a little bit, doesn't make it as opaque. Usually if I want it super opaque, I go in with the applicator. That's opaque. That is stunning as well. The glitters in it look amazing. It is already starting to crease on my eyes though, which is the downfall of liquid eyeshadows, but that's just what my eyelid does with them. That's really nice. Anyway, before I start gushing over the liquid eyeshadow, what I'm going to do now is go off camera, catch up the other eye. I will use the liquid liner, but I'll do it in my waterline, and we'll do that after I've done my base and when I'm doing my lower lash line, so that I don't have to like try and put my foundation on around it and things like that. So I will use this, but it'll be a bit later. I'll go off camera and catch up my other eye. I'm also going to put on primer, foundation, concealer and powder because I don't have those to test from Rude. They do have those products, I just didn't pick them up, so if you would like me to test them at some point in the future, please do just let me know down in the comment section. And I'm happy to do that, but for right now I don't have those products, so I'll just throw those on, and everything on my face will be linked in the description box in case you are interested. See you in a moment. Base is done. Eyebrows are also done, so I looked ridiculous without them. This brow hates me, so just ignore it. Let's start with blush, and I have already tested this. This was in my last testing video. I have used it a few times since then though, and in my testing video, my main complaint, although it wasn't really a complaint, was that the shades were too pigmented. Like, I went in with the smallest amount and made a mess. I've learned to go in with an even smaller amount, and I don't reach for this palette all the time just because they're not really shades that I reach for, but I have found that this shade, this shade, this shade and this shade, I don't have anything really like it in my collection. They're sort of more neutral blushes, so I do reach for those when I need to. I don't wear them all the time. I tend to go for more of a like peachy pink sort of blush, but if I need a neutral blush, I go in here, and I do actually need a neutral blush today, so let me grab a brush. And I think I'm going to go for the shade Boost, just a small amount on my brush, gonna tap it off. I don't even know how well you're going to be able to see it. It's almost on the edge of being a yellow toned apricot-y type blush, which I actually quite like. I said in my testing e.l.f. video that I was scared of yellow blushes and I didn't think they suited me. Since then I've actually tried yellow blushes, and I think depending on what I'm doing with my eyes and the rest of my face, they can work for me. And this is just ever so slightly on the edge of being a yellow blush, and I quite like it. It's quite nice. I still went in with a touch too much on this side, but that's fine. It is what it is. On to some new products. First up we have a bronzer. This is the Go For Bronze I Gave It My All matte bronzer. Packaging looks like this. It's kind of giving me like Game of Thrones vibes, but that could just be me. And this is what it looks like. It looks quite nice. Yeah. Wondering if it's a touch cool toned, but we'll give it a go. I actually quite like that. That's a very subtle bronze. I feel like you can barely even see it on camera, but everything gets a little bit washed out on camera. It's very subtle. Again, I think it's a yellow toned bronzer, which if you've been watching my testing videos, I've tested quite a few bronzers recently, and I've been finding some really good yellow tone bronzers, which makes me think yellow tone bronzers are the ones that work best for me and my skin tone, as opposed to like orange and red tone bronzers. I quite like it. I'm not a bronzer person, but I've been filming so many testing videos in the past couple of days, and I've liked every single bronzer that has come into my collection, which is great. Yeah, I really like that. That's really good. Winning! For highlights, we have the Baked highlighter in the shade All Eyes On Me. I was sent a highlighter by Rude Cosmetics. Oh, I didn't mention. Some of the products that I've already tested, that were tested in my last video, I won in a giveaway that was held by Makeup by Tammy and Rude Cosmetics over on Instagram. I won it like last year, at the very start of last year, and they sent me some bits, including the blush palette, and they sent me a highlight but in a darker shade, so I picked this one up in a lighter shade, and we're going to test this. I'm a bit worried it's going to be glittery just because swirling my brush in it, little particles are flying out, but we'll give it a go. I was right. It is a touch glittery. Like, you can see glitter particles on my face. Let me try swatching it. It does feel nice and smooth. Yeah, it looks glittery on my finger. It looks glittery on my arm. I don't know how well you can see that. It is a touch glittery. In fact, I say a touch, it's very glittery. It's very much little particles of glitter on my face. They are tiny and it doesn't look that bad. I've seen worse highlighters on me. It's just not my favourite, unfortunately. However, I do think that because I don't have any highlighters that are on the glittery side. This will get used when I want something a touch more glittery. I don't know how often that will be, but when I do, it's good to know that I have this here as an option. It's time to finish up the eyes, so let's zoom you back in, do a lower lash line, blow this out a bit, test that liner. I also have a mascara from them, which I've already tested, but I'll put it on. Let's zoom in. Let's start by blowing this out a little bit more. Gonna go in with the shade Mojo and the shade Feathers to just blow it out. Okay, quite happy with that. Let's do a lower lash line. I'm kind of thinking doing a slightly different colour than I did to the top, just to make it more interesting. I'm not going to go red, just because red and green are opposite each other on the colour wheel, so that might not work. I might try and go like for the purples, so I'm thinking Lindy Hop and Swanky, mainly on the lower lash line. Might also have to use Feathers to blend it out a bit, but let's start with Lindy Hop and see how it goes. That shade worked quite nicely even on a set base, so now let's go in with a little bit of Swanky to blend it out. Okay, I quite like that. They worked very nicely even on a completely set base. I'm also going to go in with a shade for my inner corner, and I'm pretty sure the only one that's going to work is this one here, which is called Jazz Night. Worked really nicely actually. Now let's test the liner. This is the City of Flashing Lights Turn It Up liner. Yep. So it looks like this. I think they've recently released a bunch of new shades of this as well, so they have quite a few now. It does roll up and roll back down again, which is great. I'm just going to swatch it on my hand. Ooh. That is very green. I mean, I like it. I don't know how well it'll go with this look, but let's give it a go. Okay, I just cut that bit out of the video because A, the mirror was in front of my face the entire time, and B, I don't particularly like watching people do their waterline, so I imagine other people don't as well. That was a little bit difficult. The only other pencils I use in my waterline are the NYX Epic Wear liner pencils. I have 2 of them and I love them. And they go on a lot easier than that did. It might just be because of the colour. It is a very light, bright colour, and it does look nice now that it's on. It just took a bit of building, a bit of time, a couple of layers. It went on easier on this side for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, I like it now that it's on. Now I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara. This is the Sultry Eyes mascara. I have already tested this. This wasn't sent to me, but I picked this up myself. It looks like this. It's not my favourite mascara, but it's black and it goes on my lashes, so good enough. There we go, that's the mascara on. Like I said, it's not my favourite. It's also getting a bit dry. I mean, it has been open for quite a while at this point, so that's perfectly normal. Yeah, just not really my favourite, but it does a good enough job. It is what it is. I'm not going to put lashes on today just because I A, can't be bothered, and B, I have another video to film after this and I don't want even more lash glue stuck in my lashes for that. So we're going to leave it at that. I might as well keep you zoomed in because I'm going to do my lips. I have a couple of lip products to test, as always. First up we have this. This is a little Season's Greetings Mistletoe Kiss Ready Lip Trio. I picked this up in TK Maxx around Christmas time, so quite a while ago. But it has 2 liquid lip colours and a lip primer, which I've never used before. I've never used a lip primer before, ever. But we'll give these a go. And then I also picked up one of their standard lipsticks. It's called the Attitude Matte Lipstick in the shade Reckless. So we'll start with this because it'll be easier to remove. I quite like the packaging. It's very sort of sleek and matte and just nice. Okay, so it's a brown shade. I knew that it was a neutrally brown. It's also in like a teardrop shape. I don't know how well you can see that. That should be useful. Let's give this a go. Okay, I really like that shade. It's probably the darkest I'd go in terms of a brown, but I do quite like it. It's almost like a chocolatey brown, but it's very much a neutral brown, I think. It's not too warm and it's not too cool. I quite like it. It is quite a matte formula. It was sort of dragging on my lips a little bit. Not as much as, say, for example, my Diego Della Palma. That's the mattest lipstick I own. That is a pain to try and get on because it just drags too much. This one wasn't that bad. And the shape of the lipstick was actually very useful. It had a nice defined point so I could get right to the edges, and it also is slightly curved so it like hugs your lips quite nicely, which is fine when you're doing like the main bit of your lips, but I go like sideways to do the corners and it wasn't as useful then. I feel like this would benefit from a lip liner, just because I'm terrible at application. That's the reason, to be honest, let's be fair. It's a very nice colour. I actually really like that shade. I don't normally like browns on me, but I'm picturing this with like a brown eye look, because when I go brown I tend to go neutral brown. I think this would work really well. I actually quite like it. So there we go, I quite like this. Their lipsticks are very nice. I quite like the formula as well. It doesn't feel too drying, it actually feels relatively hydrating, which is quite nice. And it's not accentuating the lines on my lips too much either, which is a big thumbs up. So yeah, really like the lipstick, pleasantly surprised. I'm really into my bullet lipsticks right now. I don't even know why, but this one, very nice. We'll 100% be using it a bit more. Let's try the liquid lipsticks. So here's the lip primer. It's just a white lipstick. I mean, what I'm going to do actually, instead of putting this all over my lips, is I'll put this on half of my lips. And then I'll apply one of the liquid lipsticks, probably the red, because I don't think the pink is going to really go with this. And well, why not just test a red? I'll put this on half my lips and see if it makes a difference. Okay, so I've got that applied to this half. We'll see if it makes a difference. Like I said, I'm going to go in with the red because the pink isn't going to match, so why not just test the red? It doesn't smell great. Let's give it a go. I quite like it. In terms of the lip primer, I don't think I can see a difference between using it and not using it. I used it on this side, remember? No, I think it looks exactly the same. Can't tell a difference. I wouldn't look at myself and be like, you've got a lip primer only on half your face. In terms of the formula, it was very opaque. I only had to dip back in once. It's starting to dry down a little bit. I love the colour. Like, obviously the eyes don't match, but I love the colour. I feel like this with like just simple winged eyeliner, yeah, I'd be fully down for that. I quite like it. And the pink is called Obscene Gesture, and I'll swatch it on my hand because I love pink tone nudes, so I'm gonna obviously love this, so I'm gonna use it. Yep, that's my sort of pink. It's sort of like a dusty pink, quite nice. We'll definitely get some use out of that. I'm also going to get some use out of this red. I've been looking for a really good red liquid lipstick. I have red bullet lipsticks, and I do have a couple of red liquid lipsticks, but this is just a really, really nice one. I like it. I'm a fan. I've decided to keep the headband in because I think it kind of goes with the lip a little bit. Final thoughts on Rude Cosmetics. I quite liked everything that I tested. Let's just quickly run through. So eyeshadow palette I like. Where's it gone? So the eyeshadow palette I like. I wish there was some more blending out shades, but I feel like I need to test it a bit more. I definitely need to test a lot more of the shimmers because they look phenomenal. I also really want to do a look using this orange shade because it's amazing, it's beautiful. The liquid eyeshadow, love it. The eyeliner, I like it. I think I need to get a bit more use out of it to get a bit more used to it. The bronzer, love. The blush, I already knew I liked it, just got to be careful with how much I use. The mascara, not my favourite. It's in my project pan at the moment, so I'm just trying to like get through it and get it used up. The highlight, not my favourite. That's probably my least favourite product I've tested today. And the two lip products that I tested, love. The lip primer, not really that useful. Maybe I should do a video where I put different primers on this side of my face. So like eye primer, face primer, lip primer. I don't know if there's any other primers. I'm pretty sure there's a lash primer. And then do my normal makeup on all of my face and see if it helps anything last a bit longer. Maybe I should do that. But yeah, the lip primer didn't seem to really do anything. So the top products for this video are the liquid glitter, the bronzer, and third, probably the bullet lipstick, just because I really like the colour of it. And then bottom products, probably the lip primer, just because I don't see any use in it right now. Also the highlighter, and I'd probably right now as it stands put the eyeliner in there just because I need to test it more and get a bit more used to it, but compared to the other products I wasn't as wowed by it. And also the mascara because it's just not my favourite. But it did its job. I have black lashes, that's the main thing. But anyway, I am rambling. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up 2 videos a week and it's all makeup content, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then this is the place for you. I have more testing videos on the way, so hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. But other than that, I hope you have a great day and an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!